Hello to everyone that's not listening. Welcome to the Master Debaters podcast. I'm here with my very good friend and associate of this channel, Tyler Fry. Say hi, Tyler.
Sup, you also said that like a retard.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Wait.
associate.
Hey, dude, look, you're not my friend because you moved, so...
Ooh, I'll break your skull.
Alright.
This is already
What?
gonna destroy our lives.
This is fucking shit.
Well, what did you expect? We're both retarded.
Alright, yeah, my name's Deuce. Our first issue that we're going to talk about is gun control, as if no one knows about it. For anyone that has been living under a rock and does not know about gun control, then this podcast probably isn't for you.
I don't think this podcast is for anybody.
Everyone just go do something else that's more productive.
I think literally just staring at a wall will be more productive than this. But if me and Deuce are probably on pretty similar sides of the issue, I believe there should be almost no gun control except for obviously felons and people who are mentally unwell shouldn't be able to have weapons.
Yeah. I think that people that are convicted should have restrictions on what type of weapons they could have. Like, they shouldn't be allowed to have not misdemeanors, felonies.
Yeah, okay, a felony.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of restrictions would they have?
Like, no, not allowed automatic weapons, but semi-auto would be okay, but not powerful semi-auto, and should only be allowed to access, like, certain type of bullets.
Well, any bullet will do tons of damage. And by the way, it's extremely difficult to get a fully automatic weapon in the USA. I don't know about other countries. I know Canada's probably pretty similar. But I know in the USA, it is extremely difficult to get a fully automatic weapon, especially in more liberal states. Like, if you go to Texas, you can probably get one. But because I know there's like 1,000 like automatic Tech 9s in California.
Well, I mean, that's California. You can't blame them.
Yeah, California is politically it's retarded, but it's a pretty nice place.
Yeah,
I lived there for like 3 years.
Yeah, so felonies, they should have more restrictions on it. Especially if it's murder, like if they're convicted of murder.
If it's a murder, you should straight up not be allowed to have weapons.
Yeah, that I can see the logic in that. I feel like they should only be allowed handguns if it is a murder.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this up, but most crimes with weapons are committed with handguns.
Yeah, well, obviously,
because they're the easiest to conceal. Like, you're not going to get caught on a doorway.
But then again, even if they do ban guns overall, the bad people are still going to be able to get guns from like the black market and gun dealers.
A friend of mine in Texas, his dad's a gunsmith, right? And he built an AR-15 on his own for $100. He didn't buy the parts through like a legal dealer. He just bought it from a friend. It's not that hard to get, like, weapons. And people make guns all the time. Have you seen some of the photos? Like, I don't know. If we can, we'll throw some up on the screen, but probably not, because we're both physically and mentally retarded.
Yeah, well, guns aren't really that hard to make. It's more of a tedious matter than it is a complicated matter.
Effective weapons are complicated to make.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
A weapon that can kill is extremely easy to build. Like, a knife will kill someone. Did you know you're like 30... I can't remember the exact statistics, so don't quote me on this. You're like 36 times more likely to be killed in a car crash than you are to be shot or stabbed.
You know you're more likely to die by a pineapple falling on your head than in a plane crash?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think you meant coconut, but... Because I think pineapples
I'm pretty sure it's pineapple. I'm pretty
sure. I think pineapples don't grow on trees. But I don't know. I think Americans should have rights to almost any weapon they want. Hey, you want a fully automatic AR-15 that shoots 50 caliber rounds? Go ahead.
50 caliber. Don't mind the recoil.
Don't mind the recoil when it flies to Kansas. But
when it flies to Kingdom Come.
If I want to own a tank, I can own a tank. If I want to own a grenade launcher, which you can, but it shouldn't be hard. Like, you can put as many restrictions on the weapon as you want. Oh, it can only be this certain type of ammunition.
It can only be... Hey, if it explodes, I'm okay.
banning a certain gun won't, like, say a long time ago in the I think it's the 1980s assault weapons ban. They banned like a ton of weapons by name, like the Tech 9. That
They
was a
banned the
weapon that was
Tech 9?
yeah, because it was used in a lot of gang shootings because it was really like a mega cheap, and you could shoot off a lot of rounds really really fast, and it was a pistol, so you could like whip it out. But it jammed like a ton, so no one actually. A ton of people used it, but it fell out of use pretty quickly when people started discovering Glocks. They're like, oh, this Austrian weapon can yeet on people better than any other weapon I have. But they were banned, and then the people who made the Tech 9s just renamed the weapon, and the ban was useless.
Oh, yeah, I could see how you could just... Yeah, that is... that is smart if you don't want your gun to be banned.
Like, also, I think everyone knows what the gun, the Spas 12 is, right?
The Spas 12, yeah, that automatic shotgun, or semi-automatic. No, it is automatic, right? Isn't it fully automatic?
It can be both. It's semi-automatic or pump. Pump is for lower power rounds, for like specialty round, like bean bags, and semi-automatics for like buckshot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what about them? What about them? What about it?
Well, I think it was the 1980s assault weapons ban, but I can't be sure because I haven't researched this in like 3 years. It was banned because it's technically an assault weapon. It's a really, it just looks scary. It's a scary looking gun, but they renamed it. It was one of the unsuccessful versions. Instead of the semi-auto, I think it was a semi-auto, or maybe it's something like that. Semi-auto shotgun, something like that. They renamed it to sporting shotgun. So it still had the same name, really, but the acronym was different. But the USA saw it Bill Clinton, I think, was the president at the time, but I can't remember.
Didn't he sleep with his secretary?
Yes, he did multiple times, and according to a lot of people, he is a rapist. So I don't entirely trust anything he says.
There you go. That was funny. He's a rapist.
I'm not claiming he is, but a lot of people have said and told me that he is a rapist.
Oh,
and if he is, cool, someone's chop his head off. Not literally, though. Please don't do that.
Yeah, don't say that.
But just throw him in prison. Have a guy, get a little too close to him.
And then rape him. No. All right, dude. I can't control him.
Hey, I ain't saying you should, but I'm not saying you shouldn't either.
I don't condone it, but I'm not against it.
I'm not gonna stop you, but I'm not saying you should do that.
Speaking of rape,
but if he's innocent, I condemn anyone who says that he was a rapist.
If he was innocent.
If he's innocent, I completely condemn anything bad said about him. Not anything bad said about him, because he's still a dunce, but. You got fucked out of presidency.
Wait, did he get impeached? Did he resign, or did he just serve his term like normal?
He served his terms like normal, I'm pretty sure. We only had a few presidents that have been impeached.
Yeah, no.
These are a ton of ads that say impeach Trump, but really, why would you impeach him? I mean, he's practically a Democrat.
Yeah. Wait, Democrat? He's a Republican.
I know, but he has a lot of liberal beliefs.
imagine saying you're a Republican, but all your views are liberal.
My views are pretty liberal, but I am a Republican. If I could register to vote, obviously. If I had to choose one side, I'd choose Republican. Frankly, the Democrats they don't have a platform. They just hate Trump.
They just hate Trump, man. Fuck that president that's not on our side.
Man, you see that guy over there who we used to love a lot? He's not cool no more.
He's a Nazi?
Yeah. Remember when a long time ago before he ran, people were trying to get him on their TV shows and their movies, but now everyone hates him.
Because he's the president and he's popular. And people believe that if they hate him, that they'll become popular.
I don't think there's a single president in history that hasn't been hated. Besides maybe George Washington, and he probably still was hated. Have you seen that meme? It's like most divisive president in history, cause a civil war. It's like a picture of Trump, right?
Yeah.
Cause a civil war, split the country, make really radical changes to the country, be Abraham Lincoln, pick unrelated.
be able to pick on. I don't understand why people would hate Trump. The only reason that I would believe that that people would hate Trump is because his ideas, like he stretches his ideas out too far. He tries to grab more than he should.
I think he doesn't know when to shut up. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
I
he should
support
have a
Trump.
Twitter.
I actually, I really do. I do. I want to vote for him.
There should be a filter.
I follow him on Twitter and on Instagram because he's just a lovable
goofball. Not subscribe, but I got a message randomly from his wife. From like not his wife, like actually like personally, but it was like a wide text. And
like a mass text.
Yeah. And they're like, message hi to be part of Trump's like text group and receive notifications. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. But it's not what I thought it was gonna be. There's no saying that at this time Trump's going to try to pass the bill, or in the future Trump's gonna block. It's literally just him saying, hey, pay for the wall, and hey, at this time, you should pay for the wall.
I do believe the wall could work, and it will work. If the Democrats will budge.
Wait, what the hell? I'm reading through it, and they know my name. I never gave them my name. My name on my phone is Evil Taco.
Wait,
hold up. What? They got my name somehow, brother.
Well, he's the president of the United States.
Yeah,
so...
yeah.
But I don't think they probably just found it some way, because you probably have it in your. Do you have the name under your profile name? Do you have it like something like that?
I used to have an Instagram account that had my name as that.
Then maybe they these two Instagram accounts. Pretty much the same. This is the same guy. So this guy is his name. Second.
Yeah, that'd make sense. I'd back that up.
But I don't know for sure.
Do you think
most of this podcast is going to be me saying I don't know for sure?
I don't know. Hey, but I don't know when you give someone life advice but don't want to ruin it. So you say, hey, but I don't know.
Your wife, she's been beating you a lot. Maybe you should just shoot her in the back of the head.
But hey, I don't know.
But I don't know. If your wife has been beating you, don't shoot her in the back of the head.
If your wife's been beating you, she must be a bodybuilder.
Or you're a very weak man.
Yeah,
or
dude, just clock her on the nose, and if she tries to sue for abuse, just say, dude, I have like 13 dislocated ligaments. Yeah. I can no longer breathe properly.
Female domestic abuse is going down, and male domestic abuse is going way up.
Yeah, because every male is afraid that he's going to go to jail for defending himself.
Which I think a lot of people say that women aren't equal to men, but men aren't equal to women. A woman can assault a man, and he defends himself, and he'll go to prison. I'm not a men's rights activist or nothing, but because I hate that entire movement. They're all like right-wing version of libtards, conservatard.
You should. Hey, explain what Antifa is. Right, that's how you pronounce it. Antifa.
Antifa. Or Antifa, if you're clinically retarded. Antifa sounds better.
Antifa, yeah. Explain to them what Antifa is and what it stands for.
For people who don't know, if you haven't heard of the Battle of Berkeley, which if you haven't, search up Battle of Berkeley based sick man, and you will find some great videos of left wing people getting beaten up. Which I don't condone the violence, but it's still very entertaining.
I don't condone it, but I will watch it.
Like bum fights, no one knows what that is besides I feel like a boomer.
Alright, continue.
Antifa is a group of loosely tied together people. Some of them are fascists, which they claim not to be fascists. Their whole name means anti-fascists, which has been groups all around the world for 50 years. And at least in America, they're a group of, some of them are communists, some of them are anarchists, but all of them are retarded. Some of them are actually good people. I will say that. Some of them are peaceful people who just want change they want to see. But a good chunk of them are violent thugs who need to be stopped. They're just being violent for the sake of being violent, and as well because people disagree with them. During Berkeley, there was a peaceful protest. I think it was something similar to a Trump rally or something like that. I think I think it was something similar to that. I can't remember. It's been I think it's been 2 years, maybe a year.
Yeah, 2 years.
Because I think that happened in 2017.
It sure didn't. Did it? I'm pretty sure.
And some Antifa people, as well as the Black Bloc, which is another group closely associated with them, which they could be the same group. They're very similar. They're pretty much the same, but they pretty much have the same ideology, at least. They showed up and started attacking people, and it was a big deal that a woman was swinging a wine bottle around. Right? This is like the biggest deal of the whole thing. It was a big deal. She was swinging a wine bottle around trying to fight like bigger men than her. And then a man clocked her in the nose, and she claimed to be a victim of violence. And before the thing, she made a post. I can't remember. I think it's Twitter, saying, "I'm going to go scalp some Nazis." She literally threatened people with scalping them.
Well, she said scalp Nazis, so that wouldn't really hold up in court because everyone hates Nazis.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't mean you can be violent towards them without being violent towards them. I hate Nazis as much as the next guy. They're just bad people. I think if you're a Nazi, you're a bad person.
Or if you support Nazi
ideology.
Yeah, I almost said trade for some reason.
If you hate the Jews, if you're a socialist, because by the way, a lot of people forget this: the Nazis are socialists.
Really, they're socialist? Socialist?
Yeah, they were socialists. I think Nazi, at least in German or something, it means National German Socialist Party or something like that.
Oh,
I think that's something similar.
That's true, isn't it? Because
I can't remember.
Didn't Italy join World War II because
they were socialists as well? I think
they were fascist.
Yeah, but fascism and socialism are closely related.
Yeah, so you could easily mix them.
Not because of ideology, because that socialism requires fascism.
Such the suck, doesn't it?
But a lot of them believe violence against people who are being nonviolent because they disagree with them is okay. And I think in New Jersey they're considered a terrorist group, and for good reason, considering they were responsible. I think one of the do you remember that baseball shooting where a lot of Republican, I think political people, I can't remember what position they held, where they were killed because they were Republican.
Oh, damn.
They were killed during a baseball game.
Hearing about that.
Really? It happened a while ago, but it was big international news. I think it was 4 guys that were killed.
Damn. Was Antifa behind it?
I don't know for sure, but I've heard that one of the person who did it was closely related to Antifa.
Damn,
or he had some ties to it. And everyone remembers Bike Lock Man.
Bike Lock Man?
Do you not remember him?
Bike Lock Man?
Yeah. I can't remember his real name, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to dox him, even though he's a criminal and deserves to be caught and convicted of a crime which he obviously committed. But during the fighting in the Battle of Berkeley, there was a man named Sean who was trying to separate people, right? He was trying to make sure they're calm and there's no fight. And a man wearing a hood and carrying a bike lock smashed him in the back of the head. And that's assault with a deadly weapon. And that's a serious crime. And I hope he is convicted. But he was wearing a mask, and no one knew who he was until 4chan. 4chan found him.
All praise 4chan and Reddit.
4chan finds everyone eventually. You do something 4chan doesn't like, oh, you're dead. You're done. They're going to find you. With the pure power of autism, they're going to find you.
They're going to use all their resources. They're going to consume all the autism in the world.
I think autism is an actual power for them. It's amazing how, efficient 4chan is at finding them. Do you remember Shia LaBeouf's, Oh, wait, by the way, Bike Lock Man is still on the run and hasn't been found as of this time, I don't think. I haven't heard anything about him being found.
Is he being hunted?
Yeah, there's an actual manhunt for him. It's not a very active one, obviously. It's been a while. If he hasn't been found already, I'm sure he has, since he's clearly inept.
He's clearly
could even use an actual weapon to kill someone, or attempt to kill someone. Couldn't shoot a gun because he's too much of a wimp. I'm not advocating that he should have shot at him, but he's obviously a wuss. And he hid by like some women were in the front of him, right? And he hid behind them afterwards.
Seriously, he
Like,
pussied out behind a woman.
Yeah, and like some more that were like smaller than him. Like I'm sure some women could have destroyed him in a fight. Like he's a small boy.
Oh,
Like I
was
guarantee
imagining
if someone
it was
confronted
like
him on
this big buff dude.
no, he's a small, weak, limp wristed man who hid behind some women, which I'm sure they could have destroyed him in a fight. Like they weren't big, but they looked pretty tough. They were Antifa, so of course they're not that tough. There's tons of video online of like Antifa getting completely destroyed by like old veterans. Like there's this 80-year-old man who picked one up and slammed him into the ground because he was like trying to assault this lady because she was wearing a MAGA hat, and he wasn't even part of the fighting. He was just like, "Ooh, I see a man assaulting a woman. I'm gonna beat him."
Uh-huh. Did you see?
And I don't know why political discourse has deteriorated so much in this country. Why can't we all just
like if you don't agree with me, then you should die.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have said that the country is coming towards a civil war, and I can believe that.
I think it would come to a civil war, not because of what the president's doing, but of the opinion people have of the president, and just the pure disagreement.
I think it's not even the disagreement, because a long time ago when people were like, I don't know, I was going to say Abraham Lincoln, but that's not a good answer. But during political discourse, people could be calm. They could protest each other peacefully. Like, think about it. I think it was the 1950s and 60s. Berkeley was a home for free speech. There was protests there for free speech, and now it's a center of authoritarianism, blocking out the free speech of people who want to speak their opinions. I think it was Milo Yiannopoulos who went there. And by the way, I'm pretty sure Milo Yiannopoulos is Jewish and gay, so he can't be a Nazi. But he might not be Jewish. I'm pretty sure he is gay, though. And if he is gay, that's fine. But can we not use it as a talking point? Like I heard
him being gay
from the alt-right saying he should be killed because
he's gay.
Yeah, I think he is gay. I'm pretty sure.
What are they, terrorists?
I don't know, man. A lot of it's confusing. Have you seen those pictures of? Do you remember Charlottesville?
Charlotte's what?
Charlottesville. It was another.
Oh, Charlottesville.
It was something called the Unite the Right rally. It was a big meeting of right-wing people to like discuss their issues between each other. Like the alt-right would discuss with like the conservative, like the normal right, and they try to work out their issues. But then Antifa showed up and got destroyed in a fight.
Antifa got destroyed, or the alt-right
Antifa got destroyed. I don't like the alt-right, and I'm pretty sure they probably wouldn't like me. I'm pretty liberal, but not an actual liberal. I'm just kind of left-leaning. I'm a socially liberal, financially conservative. I believe you should be able to do and say whatever you want as long as it harms no one. Hey, you wanna hate everyone besides like white people? Fine, I don't care. You're scum, but that's fine.
Just don't deal with it physically.
Yeah, don't fight anyone. Don't hurt people because you believe they're inferior to you.
That makes you a fascist.
If you do, you're gonna get shot in the face. But also, I think Antifa is heading towards fascism if they're not there already. They will literally suppress the opposition with violence.
Yeah. Wait. No. That is that is terrorist. That is a terrorist.
That's terrorism.
Yes. Terrorism is to gain a political traction by using violence.
I think it's political change or something similar. But fascism, I'm pretty sure, is defined by violent suppression of opposition and authoritarianism. And the left wing is becoming more and more authoritarian as we speak. And if a civil war does break out in this country, I think most people know what side they're fighting on. They're fighting on a side that lets them be free and do as they please without hurting anybody else.
Except, there's people that are like, I don't know what I'm doing. Someone do it for me.
That's probably going to be a big chunk of the country. And I don't think it's going to be just a two-sided war, the left wing versus the right. I think it'll be communists, Nazis, just normal people trying to survive the war. I'm sure it won't get that bad. It's just a complete shutdown of like normal life.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be like missiles firing at capitals and like bombing raids. I think there's just gonna be like infantry and tanks rolling down fucking Washington D.C.
What I'm worried about is that Antifa has like planned killings before. Like, do you know who Chowder is, or Crowder, or Steven Crowder?
Oh, Steven Crowder. First you said Chowder, and I thought of that.
I know, because that's the name of the show. Louder or Chowder. Or Crowder, I mean, not Chowder. I don't know why I say Chowder, because I don't know, because it kind of sounds similar.
Chowder is the name of a Cartoon Network show.
And it's a good show, by the way. If you haven't watched it, what are you doing with your life? But
they planned to assassinate him? Are they planned to?
No, he went undercover as in the Antifa group, and they were planning to like assault people with guns. They had 2 AK-47s coming to them and had several shotguns, and they were handing out ice picks to people to stab people with.
Jesus.
And when he brought it to the police, it took them days to investigate, and the news wasn't even interested. CNN, they brought it to CNN, wouldn't report it. They had video evidence of Antifa members confessing plans to kill people, and the CNN didn't want it at all.
Damn, I think the only reason why police or like the government isn't worried about Antifa is because they do such small things, and that no one ever goes over it.
A friend of mine, his name, we'll call him Tom, because I'm not going to dox him on air, that no one's listening to, by the way. I know none of you are listening to this, and if you are, what are you doing? Go listen to some better podcast, maybe.
Yeah, like the Self-Inflicted podcast, or the fucking, what's that?
The official podcast, yeah. H3H Trees. He's pretty, I love that man. And also, his wife's pregnant, which is good for him.
Don't you ever think it's weird, like, when you see someone pregnant, and you know who the father is, has your brain ever just done itself, and pictured them doing it? Or is that just me? Or am I just weird like that?
I think that's just you.
Really?
Because I've never imagined them doing that.
I that's just a thing that I always do to myself. I'm like, God, those two boned. Those two went to the boner zone.
They met Skeletor. That was a bad reference to something only people who are older than us would know. But I think some people believe that the Civil War is already happening.
Really? No, I don't know. It's not happening.
Because there's already been in the streets fighting. People have been killed. Like, one girl in Charlottesville was killed by a self-professed Nazi. He intentionally drove his car into a crowd of people, and he killed her.
Was he arrested?
Yes, he was arrested and charged, and I think he was convicted. If he wasn't convicted, if he was guilty, hang him, I guess.
Hang him? Yeah, brother. Go back to 1780.
Dude, I actually advocate for the hanging of people. Certain people for certain crimes. Hey, you molested this little girl? Hung. Hey, you killed 13 people? Hung. I guarantee you'll see a lot less murders and see a lot less molestation.
Oh, yeah, dude, if we were more public about killings and, like, really glorified it, people would
not glorified it. Don't glorify death, because that's just not a good thing all around.
Well, I mean,
but
the Vikings
we show that we have a zero-tolerance policy for people like this. People who are violent and destructive to other people's lives. There will be a lot less. There'll be a lot less people who are doing that if we're less and less tolerant of them.
I think the police department is becoming more liberal. It's becoming more soft towards criminals, and like they don't really exert their force when necessary.
Like during Berkeley.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they're all afraid of being fired by just some dude on Twitter who's like, police brutality, man, it's fucking everywhere. It's not.
But the police were, like, some of the police were questioned afterwards. He said, I wanted to go in there and arrest every single person there. But then the police chiefs wouldn't let them go and arrest people who were being violent and destroying property. And I think that's a big deal for the chief of police. And I'm not saying he should lose his job, but I think he should be heavily criticized for that.
Did you hear about that police chief who gave himself a parking or speeding ticket, one of the two.
That's a good man.
Yeah, he's a dumb man, but a good man.
Yeah, you don't gotta be a smart person to be a good person. I think that man should be given a hug and just
And a slight promotion.
Yeah, a small promotion. But like he wrote himself a speeding ticket.
I think it was speeding.
Either if it's a parking ticket and a speeding ticket, doesn't matter. Well, speeding ticket's slightly
Sick
worse.
ticket.
Yeah, he gave himself a ticket. That's integrity right there. Because he could have gotten away with it easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he could have.
And he probably should have.
Yeah, dude. If I was the president,
I
I would have
would've.
pardoned him. I would have personally went up to the, hey, dude, you're pardoned from that ticket.
I'm paying that ticket.
I'm paying that ticket and giving you the money on the amount on that ticket.
Hey, $700 right there. Use it to, I don't know.
No, I think it was
buy
just
some guns.
200.
That's a pretty cheap ticket, but still. That's a good man. And I wish more people were like that. They have integrity.
I wish everybody was.
People
like
often not say what they like. Say somebody like, "Oh, I don't like criminals. They should all be put in jail." Ooh, I'm a criminal now, and I'm doing exactly what I just said I would stop people from doing.
that.
Like,
That's a
if people are violently attacking each other in your streets, you have full rights to arrest everyone who's doing the violence. If people are cowering in the corner, help them out first. But Jesus Christ, I hope
becomes the Punisher.
I hope this police chief of police. I mean, I'm sorry. I have verbal dyslexia.
Verbal dyslexia. So with all that doing, so everyone knows about the wall issue happening with Trump and all that. Do you support the wall? And if you do you support it fully or certain points of it, or do you not support the wall? And if so, why?
I support the wall fully.
Do you
Yes.
do you think anything that he's trying to do for the wall is outrageous or
Well, he started a Kickstarter, didn't he, or GoFundMe?
does it only have like $5 million?
He had like $1 billion, I think.
Damn.
But he didn't have flexible funding on. He didn't reach his goal. But I think the wall, it won't stop illegal immigration.
It
And
won't stop it, but it would probably decline it.
It'll put a pretty big dent in it. And I think that we should crack down harder on illegal immigrants.
We should.
Like, it's not because I think if some guy comes over from Germany and he's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna hide here because I'm an ex-Nazi or something," I'm like, he's hiding in the U.S. out because his government hates him or something, and he's a legal immigrant. He's an illegal immigrant, not a legal immigrant. Boom, kick him back to Germany.
Couldn't he be considered a spy?
He could be considered a spy, but I'm not sure exactly.
See, everyone today is saying that we treat illegal immigrants so harshly. Like, if this was 1942 or 3, we would have shot we would have considered that an invasion.
Probably would have if a group of German men.
No, not German, Mexican, or not Mexican, illegal. Just to say illegal.
Okay, a group of illegal immigrants came to America, right? Illegally.
From the southern
say
border.
100. That could be considered. Like, do you remember the caravans that were coming from
South
America? That could be considered an invasion, and I think the USA had a total right to fire guns at every one of them.
But they didn't. They threw tear gas,
which is a perfectly reasonable response.
There was a mother who was bringing her 2 kids there, or her kids there, and a reporter interviewed her, and she was saying, "I hate how they put my kids in danger. I just wanted them to bring them to safety." And someone commented, and they said, "You shouldn't. You're the one that put them in danger. You made them do something illegal in both countries."
Yeah, dude. The Mexican government does not kid around.
I'm not even considering it a government. I'm literally, if you came up to me and asked what type of government is the Mexican government, I would say more of a dictatorship because it's run by the mafia and mobs.
I'm not gonna claim anything. I don't know anything about
the corruption is so high in Mexico. There is corruption in every country, even Nepal, which is a monk country.
I kind of want to visit Nepal because it just looks kind of pretty, but
yeah, no one's allowed in there. Or if you are allowed, you have to have special permission.
Yeah, I would go there. If I was a reporter, I'd go there and do a story on them, because that's just kind of impressive.
I'd just be like, so, how are you? And they'd be like,
Dude, Switzerland does not get around with borders either. Because remember when the first, the migrant crisis was a big thing? It still kind of is. And Germany was accepting so many people. The UK, the USA was accepting a few, I think. But the Switzerland was like, I will not take a single person. They literally have not accepted one refugee. And I think that's kind of impressive.
Hey, you send somebody over here, they might die from natural causes.
Yeah, it's pretty natural to be shot in Switzerland. That's a joke. Please don't kill me, Switzerland, because I know you
Switzerland sends its entire military after you.
Through my walls and hey, Swiss.
That FBI, that SWAT scene from, I think it was Black Rain, to where the SWAT's busting through every hole in the house.
Yeah, and they fall over a lot.
Yeah, and some dude grabbed a face and slammed it against the wall.
Have you ever seen that video of that SWAT team member headbutting a door down?
No.
Oh, I should try to find it. But back to the migrant issue. A lot of people are calling the leader of Switzerland racist because he didn't want the migrants. But that's what the people of Switzerland voted on. They voted down to. They were like, "Hey, I don't want people coming in here," and I don't like Switzerland completely because I'm pretty sure they're a socialist country, but they do socialism good.
Oh, really?
Every single person has to work, and if you don't work, you go to jail. Because there's no garbage collectors. There's no people who are I don't know, what's a really low skilled job that's made by the government.
Mailman. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no mailman. It's people who don't have higher jobs. It's hey, you're 18, you don't have a college degree.
No,
and
Switzerland is capitalist.
Well, I think they have. What is it? What's the other country that does that?
Switzerland is currently probably the most capitalist country on the planet, more so than the U.S. since Obama.
I think Obama was straight up just a bad president.
Legitimately though, the way that Obama moved things around, I'm pretty sure he was a socialist, or he had socialist ideals.
It's fine to have socialist ideals, but I think once you start crossing over to communism, you're straight up a bad person. Man, this all started with a gun debate that we both agreed on.
Yeah.
And it's been mostly me rambling about Antifa, but for anyone still listening for this, I think it's been an hour already, right?
Nope, it's been 40 minutes.
No, that's not that long of a podcast, but hey, if you're still listening, you're probably not. Hey, thanks for coming along. Subscribe if you like. If you like this, we're not done yet, but this is probably a halftime.
Halftime?
I don't know, probably not halftime, but this is getting closer back into the show. But hey, if you are here to stay, thank you for actually showing up, and we're gonna ramble on for maybe 20 more minutes. And if you want to subscribe, go ahead.
Yeah, cool. Let's just kick down the door of not hurting people's feelings and go straight into abortion. Well,
okay, abortion.
What's your standing on abortion?
I think it's fine before the baby has a brain.
Before the baby has a brain?
Yeah. Not these 9-month abortions. That's straight up the baby is about to be born and you're aborting it. It's a lie. They can probably think.
I'm with you on that, and also if it's rape too, it has to be rape.
Oh yeah, if it's rape, I don't believe that it has to be rape.
None of that accidental stuff, because then I'm you shouldn't be doing it in the first place, because.
I don't think that's. I disagree with you on that, but I see where you're coming from. Is that people should be responsible for their own bodies.
It's mostly teens too.
Yeah, but what about people who aren't ready to raise children?
If there's some reason that they can't give birth to it,
obviously they should abort it. If it's endangering your life, you should abort it.
Yes, but if it's just like this girl that had 15 abortions already. And literally keeps them. Whoops.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
But I think she has a right to do that, but I think she is a bad person for keeping them. It's kind of nasty. I think celebrating abortion is wrong.
Oh,
I think it should be safe, rare, and kind of not shunned. It shouldn't be shunned,
It
but
shouldn't
it shouldn't be celebrated.
It shouldn't be celebrated, nor should it be endorsed.
Like, I don't think the government should give money to Planned Parenthood. It's an important service. I know that. But the vast majority of Americans disagree with abortion. Not the vast majority, but a good bit of them.
I feel the way to please both sides is to first make it, if it's rape, then it's your choice no matter what, and it has to be, let's say, 5 months or less. Would you agree on that? 5 or 4?
That sounds reasonable to me, but I would rather just have it before the baby gets a brain. Because I feel like if something doesn't have a brain to me, I don't think it's alive. Like, it can't feel or think, so why should I care?
Plants.
Well, I guess they technically don't have brains, but I don't care about them dying either. They're not conscious. If something has a brain, I feel like it's conscious. So I kind of feel bad if I I shoot a rat in the face. I'm not going to feel bad.
Do you mean as if it can feel pain?
Yeah, it can feel pain.
Plants can feel pain.
I know, but I mean, they can think and feel. Like, a baby may not be able to think reasonably, but they feel emotions.
No, they don't have. I believe they don't.
Why do you think a baby cries?
Well, doesn't it first come out crying? Isn't there a scientific reason why it cries?
It's because they have to get the water out of its lung by spanking it. So it'll cough and scream. I think that's the reason. That's what my mom told me, but that might be wrong. That's what she told me when I was a kid.
Did you see that post where it was a baby came out and then minutes after it's born it starts walking and someone made a meme. No. And someone made a meme where it's like when you already beat the game but you missed something, so you skip the tutorial.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I'm sure it's fake, but if it's not, that's pretty impressive, kid. You're gonna be a superstar.
Oh, okay. Okay, they. Most of them cry. Not all of them cry, but most of them cry because they were bruised and sore from the trauma of birth.
I'm pretty sure if your baby isn't crying at birth, there's probably something a bit wrong with it. Not mentally, but physically. There's probably something. It has some kind of sickness.
Oh yeah, what's that disorder called to where they can't feel pain?
I don't know what it is, but it's a bad disease. Like, pain is actually good for you. It tells you when you're getting hurt.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it. Like, if I get stabbed in the back and I can't feel nothing, he's just going to keep stabbing me.
Well, I mean, sometimes when you are hurt, the shock from there just doesn't...
And damaged nerves can actually stop pain. And there are certain amounts of pain that... Apparently, the most pain a human being can feel is a fractured femur. Or is it shattered?
I think it's shattered.
I was like, hey, did the voice just cut out, or you just not speaking?
I'm just not speaking.
I think the abortion is fine. It doesn't affect me, so I don't really care. I think most people nowadays are like that, but there are certain things that will affect me. Like, the new 2019 gun ban, I'm strongly against that. I think anyone involved in that should just stop it. You're not going to win this. You're just going to ruin your reputations permanently.
Well, you know what they say.
There are a few people in there that I don't entirely disagree with. I can't remember their names because, there's like 1,000 of them. But I can't respect them now because they're trying to take away people's rights. Dude, people always argue, not always, but a lot of people do argue, the Constitution was written during the time of muskets. The Founding Fathers had no idea that there'd be automatic weapons, even though automatic weapons are already illegal, you small child.
Small child? Well, that's the same thing as saying, Founding Fathers didn't know that...
Twitter would be around.
Yeah, Twitter would be around, or that Antifa was going to be a thing, or how... That's an idiotic case or an argument to make.
The Second Amendment's 400 years old. They would have no idea that assault weapons would exist, but they also didn't know Twitter would exist. So does your free speech not apply to that?
Yeah, brother.
No, it does apply. And you try to take someone that away. I think if you try to take someone's rights away, they are fully licensed to revolt against you. If the government tries to take my guns away, I'll try to revolt against the government. That's what I'm gonna do.
Dude, the entire
I'm probably
South
fail.
is gonna revolt. Didn't we
Again.
literally have an entire war about that? About the government doing stuff that the South didn't like?
Yeah, the entire Civil War, which was technically not a civil war, because we weren't part of the same country. Because the South had seceded from the Union. It was like, oh, we're Confederates right now. We're not the same country. We can still be friends though, but we're going to keep our slaves and all our stuff. Oh, you're invading us? We're going to fight back now. Because it wasn't technically a civil war. We were technically two countries at the time. We were fractured.
Well,
it was technically
that really depends because splitting a country takes more time, and both sides have to agree to it. One side just can't be like, we're no longer part of it, because then it'd be like, this is a revolution, get smacked.
Do you remember when California was trying to secede from the Union?
You remember when like 16 states right now are tried to secede from America?
No, but I wish California did secede from the Union.
But that would be such a weird number, 49?
I know, but I think we only have 49 states.
I think we only have 48, because what's Wyoming?
What? Wyoming doesn't exist. Neither does Idaho, but...
Idaho?
Idaho. It doesn't exist.
It's a joke, because Idaho. That's how I remembered it in 5th grade.
That sounds so incredibly you.
Idaho. I'm like, hey, that's funny.
But I wouldn't mind. I know a civil war would be incredibly bad for the people of this country, but it would show who's the actual fighting for.
Yeah, and it could scare the fuck out of countries again, dude. For America, like countries could be like, hey, maybe we shouldn't fuck with America.
Yeah, they're fighting each other, and they've killed thousands of each other in like a day,
and they're still extremely strong.
They have like a 518 M1 Abrams tanks, and they can shoot us from like a mile and a half. Like, it's not okay. Please go away. I like to personify countries a lot. Like I always imagine Germany as like a really patriotic retard.
I always imagine America like that one dude in school who's really tough, but also and like wants control, but also hates having to force
do anything.
Yeah.
He hates being in charge, but he wants to be in charge.
Yeah.
No, he's bipolar.
He's bipolar.
And North Korea is a really blind, autistic buff man.
A baby man.
South Korea is a really skinny man with a knife. A big knife.
A big
that has nuclear warheads on the end.
Wait, South Korea has nuclear warheads?
Probably. I don't know for sure, but they have a really good military.
I know that their military is pretty good.
I would just assume they have nukes, because most countries do. Russia's like frenemies with the U.S.
Frenemies.
And they have a really big gun, and so does the U.S., and they're both aiming at each other all the time, but they're also talking really nice to each other. But also he's like, Korea's just straight up like it's so messed up. China's like always making sure people don't say the wrong things. Like, what happened in Tiananmen Square? Oh, what's Tiananmen Square? I don't think that's a place.
Tiananmen Square.
For people who don't know what Tiananmen Square is, which you might not.
So I'm pretty sure you know this, and a lot of other people know this. Hong Kong, how the UK owned Hong Kong and then gave it back to China, and Hong Kong is a capitalist city and a communist country.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, but I think at this point China is more of a socialist country than a communist country. They may claim to be communist. Oh, by the way, they're making a Karl Marx anime.
Karl Marx.
He's the man who invented communism.
Oh.
And by the way, he never finished his work.
He never. So that's like taking a half completed rocket launcher and saying, "Yep, this works."
And he also said communism will eventually inevitably fail. I'm pretty sure he said that. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that quote.
I'm pretty sure both me and you already agreed that communism should only work for small countries, right? Didn't we agree on that?
I'm pretty sure we did agree on that. And I think socialism can work for small countries. Communism cannot.
Communism cannot, yeah.
Communism only works until people run out of other people's money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything's free under socialism except for you.
All right. Well.
I'm just spouting rhetoric.
Well, I hate to cut it here, but I gotta bounce. And I'd agree that this is a pretty good episode of the Master Debaters.
Okay, thank you everyone who isn't watching for coming along with us on this 1 hour podcast. It was produced nothing and wasted your time. But come back for next episode, maybe a few days. I don't know.
Maybe a few days. Maybe in 3 seconds. You may never know.
Don't expect us to upload frequently or consistently. It will probably do a few episodes that are probably going to be on dated issues. We didn't get to talk about all the issues we wanted to.
Yeah.
And we'll have a few friends of ours as guests maybe at some point.
Yeah, there was 2 people. By the way, one of them messaged me back as the podcast already started. So he may be available next time.
Okay, yeah, we can probably do that.
All right.
Join us next time. Maybe tomorrow, maybe never. But join us next time. Official episode 1 of the Master Debaters podcast.
Oh yeah, because this is just a pilot.
Thank you for watching if you did, and goodbye, I guess.
All right.